Mm. The first attempt to fill the gap is a trap. Trendy. Just not now. Mm. Yo, congratulations on that, Guan. Congratulations, man. I know that is definitely a milestone, especially how these prop firms make you trade now. Especially. You stay consistent for multiple days, make the amount of money that you need to make, and that within itself shows yourself, it proves to yourself that you can do this. So when you have doubts, when that little monster in your head tells you that you're not good enough, you can show that little monster proof. You don't even have to listen to that monster anymore. You got proof. You did it. Now, what's going to get you in trouble is if that little monster's cousin come and it's, oh man, that was a fluke. That was a fluke. You're not really good enough. Yada yada blah blah blah. That's not true. If you stick to the script, stay patient, take the best setups, manage your positions correctly, you can definitely continue to do that. And obviously, I'm speaking from experience. For 30 days straight, I mean, every day I came in, at first I had the initial doubt that, man, the NASDAQ is crazy, blah, blah, blah. The NASDAQ ain't crazy. It's how I feel about her. That's what's crazy. She ain't crazy. She does the same shit every day. Came in and proved to myself that I can trade, that I can be profitable for 30 days in this account, and I proved it to myself. And just how you just proved it to yourself. So, what the hell? Hmm. Why the hell this is all like? What the hell is up with that? It's like, where the hell's my? All right. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So obviously the Nasdaq has not officially filled that gap, but we all know the first attempt to fill that gap is a trap. We all know it. There should be no surprise that it got close to filling that gap, and we're seeing a move up. Now, I do expect for the market to trade, at 160, 160, potentially maybe 170, somewhere in this area where we got this breaker structure to the downside. I do expect to see somewhat of a rejection here, somewhat. But we're just gonna have to see what happens overnight. We do got GDP tomorrow. That's definitely going to be a market mover. If you're not well positioned into something before that 7 o'clock central time frame, I would suggest sitting on your hands, obviously, because the news will be volatile. And we just don't know how far or how fast it's going to move tomorrow. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. And obviously, PCE is on Friday because once we have GDP, we have PCE the next day. PCE is a tool that the feds claim that they love using. It helps them gauge the market, or is a more accurate tool to gauge consumer spending, et cetera, et cetera. So that's definitely going to be interesting. If we don't feel, if we don't feel, hmm, 855, huh? 855. Hmm, 855, huh? If we don't fill that gap tomorrow, I think we get a gap fill Friday or maybe Monday. Hmm. That's interesting. So I got this naked PCE on my chart, and I'm just looking to see how the market, some reacts to it. Uh, uh, so we got this naked PCE at 855. I wonder if that's going to be an area to look out for, because I think we get that gap fill Friday, and if we don't get it Friday, it's gonna definitely probably it's gonna most likely, highly likely happen on Monday. But here's the thing that I'm most proud of that we did last night. Last night we was able to literally predict this price action that we saw today. Today just felt, or yesterday, it really felt like we was going to get this big move down that we saw today. We also had Crash Kari speaking today, so I'm pretty sure that could have played a big part in what happened today. Because our boy Crash Kari definitely, I think this was his first speaking event in a while, and as a result of that, the market came tumbling down, which I find very interesting and not surprising whatsoever. So today was a bearish trend today. Yeah, I gotta say that, but I would prefer for this to not be. Okay. So yeah, so we basically had a, what is that, 9, 4, 1, about a 614 point move to the down. Hold on, am I doing the math right? I don't think I did the math right. All right, so we had a 309 point move to the downside. We had a 93 point move to the upside, and then we finished the day with a 275 point move to the downside. So all together, yesterday we had about a 400 and something point move to the downside. 36 minus 43. So yeah, 493 point move to the downside. Uh, this is the gap that the bears are aggressively trying to sell into. Aggressively trying to sell into this gap right here and try to fill it. But obviously, it fell short because the first time to fill this gap will always be a trap. Don't ever do that. It's always a trap. This has been a trap. I don't think I've seen a time where it hasn't been. I allow gain weight to kind of the one time I let gain weight convince me that, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Man, not only did that thing shoot up, and I was like, damn, I should have stuck to my original thesis. Hey, what's up, gain weight? We're just talking about you. The one time I let gain weight convince me, it was like, bro, nah, this shit, drop it. They gonna fill that gap. And I was like, you know what, maybe gain weight's right. And that thing shot up. I saw my charts and I was like, damn, I should have stuck to my long. Should have stuck to my long. Blamed weight. You got to. You gotta blame weight. You got to. But I wasn't man, I was not confident in that short before we left for the stream. I just said, man, whatever happens, happens. I just said whatever happens, happens. I just walked away. And to my surprise, when I came back and saw that not only did my short work, it super worked. I mean, shit, I left money on the damn table, apparently. I left money on the table. I had a target right here. I had some coming off right here. I left money on the damn table yesterday. You know that's right, Game Whip. You know that's right. And this is another example that the lines on your chart does work. Don't let nobody tell you that it doesn't. Your chart geometry does work. Look at this trend line. Look at it if you can. use this trend line right here, use this line as resistance. It was a perfect area to come in and short this thing. Perfect short if you got in where I got in today. I mean, like I said at the time, I didn't think it was going to work, but damn, boy, did it damn work. Boy, did it work. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it worked. Mhm. Okay. But like I said, I want to see what price does here. I mean, if we do see a squeeze, this might be another area. But honestly, I think price might trade through this. This might actually be the area where we probably see they knock price back down potentially. But how was everybody else's day? Was y'all able to keep the money that you extracted from the market, or what is Prize Picks? What's that? Let me look that up. I don't know what that is. Prize Picks? Apparently, I need to get my gambling game up. Apparently, oh, it's for sports. Okay. Mm. What did you bet on game weight? And this is, I think this is a good. I think, yeah, this is probably yeah. That's so interesting. Like that is like the most interesting thing in the world. Very- Damn. Yo, I know that hurts, man. I mean, honestly, I mean, now that like the sports gambling, do you think that they do these things on purpose? Like, do you think that they do these things because they know that a certain amount of people are betting on one side and then they don't do it? Mm, you don't think so? You know, I was talking to my brother about this. Uh, this is when we was going looking for apartments. As we was moving up in the world, we was looking at apartments, and for whatever reason, I think I don't know how the conversation started. I think there might have been some sports or something that was on the TV, and I may have said something about, man, how can anybody watch this because sports are rigged? And this was like a couple of years ago, before the obvious scripted reality that is now sports. Uh, this was before that time. And then the guy, I mean, we literally had a debate about this. I was like, dude, You can't like. Do you actually believe that these games are not scripted? I mean, it's kind of obvious when you kind of look at it. Like when you like you got professional athletes, and you have professional athletes performing at the highest level at every single person. So you're telling me that one team can kind of like, I think I may have been talking about what was that, the Patriots or whatever. I mean we all know Tom Brady is good, but I mean you have to really think of how bad the other teams suck for them to come back to that. The Falcons, they came back from that. The Panthers versus the Broncos. What's his name? Peyton Manning, I think his name is. His last game, his sunset game. You know, Cam Newton was not. He was not the same after that game. Anybody that saw the handshake, the exchanges between the team, you kind of knew that he was told that, yeah, you can play, but this is Peyton Manning's sunset game, and obviously he needs to go into the sunset. And you can just look at him and see that it felt like he betrayed himself, he betrayed his team. I mean, you can take a loss, but if you look at him, it was deeper. Let me see if I can find it, man, so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And then after that, he went crazy. He just started doing all kind of crazy ass shit, like nothing mattered to him. And I think I might have been talking about that too to my brother or something like that. And then like me and this dude was like having this debate about these games being scripted. And I just randomly thought about that yesterday. And I was like, it's interesting. If I can have that same conversation with that guy, now that we have the internet and we know that these games are now scripted, I wonder if he would apologize. I wonder if he would say, you know what, man? I know I debated you. I know I was arguing with you about this, but damn, this shit is actually true. These games are scripted. Peyton Manning. I mean, if you don't know that it is, then I mean, you just don't want to see it. Which I mean, Peyton, I get it. I mean, and this is his form of entertainment. I mean, you don't want everything to be real. Peyton Manning versus Cam Newton. Conclusion. Yeah, because I think the Panthers was undefeated that year too. They were undefeated that year. And after that game, he just was never the same after that. Or he wasn't the same after that. Cam Newton Super Bowl conclusion. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I mean, this is not really it, but you can kind of see it too in this. I really want to see that damn like when they were at the end of the game. Look at his body language. Slumped shoulders. I mean, you can lose, but you can just kind of tell that that's shame. He hates himself. That is clear shame right there. But I want to find that picture. Or I mean that when they were doing the exchange. I'm pretty sure I'm probably not gonna find it. Let me see if I can just look up on the internet and find it. But yeah, I just randomly thought about that. And because of that, that's why I don't bet on sports. I I mean, I don't like playing games that I know I can't win. I don't like playing those types of games. Like if I'm a gamble, then I want to gamble on games I can win, not games that can be quote unquote scripted and rigged. Super Bowl, Cam Newton, Manning, end of game. Let me see. See if I can find it. Well, anyway, actually, give me a second, guys. I gotta call my daughter. I forgot about that. Let me call her real quick. Mm. Mm. Well, I guess it ain't gonna change. Okay. All right. All right. Mm. Mm. Okay. Yeah, she's gone. That was a clean goddamn push, man. Kind of wish I was in front of my screen to take this. That was a clean bounce right there. Clean bounce. Hmm. You said that there's sellers adding to this position right here. You talking about adding to the position at that low? I don't think this. I mean, we could see a pullback here. Hold on. You're saying that this move right here was sellers getting in? Right here was sellers getting in? You're gonna have to explain that one to me, game weight. I can understand that they were getting in and they got squeezed out of their position, but you're saying that there was actually people trying to sell these lows right here at the low, and this is just them getting trapped and squeezed out? Or are you just saying that this is not real buying? These are just sellers getting squeezed up, and that's why we saw a move higher. I do think that we got at least 60 more points. I think we at least get back and retest this bracket structure right here. I mean, I do think we got at least this or somewhere close. 109 to 115. Mm. Mm. Kind of hate having to sit there and trade against that. I mean, if the market is going to go up here, I would prefer to try to find my way into this long, honestly, preferably. I would prefer to take the long train up and get out at this area versus trying to sell from that area. Oof. Oh, man. Not the one. Mhm. All right. So, I mean, we haven't touched that naked PLC. This is what this white line now represents. This is the naked PLC. We haven't touched it yet. So, we'll see how the market reacts at it. I mean, I guess we're seeing somewhat of reaction, but I wouldn't short this. I wouldn't short this. Not yet. It's not ready to get shorted yet. Mm. Well, gain weight. These sellers about to they're about to feel some pain. I mean, unless they just have a big account and they're just setting limits and just getting them filled as the market goes up, they're about to feel some pain. We could potentially see 250 tomorrow. We can potentially see 250, potentially 200. We can potentially see because I mean we do got a strong high at 217. We do got this block of liquidity right here. So I mean, obviously this has to we have to see a reaction here first. Or I guess we don't, but it's highly likely that we'll see the reaction here. But if we do see price continue up, we do got this block of liquidity right here that break a structure. So we could see 250. And then with GDP tomorrow, with news, you just don't know what the hell the market's going to do. The market could want to come back all the way up here, but I doubt that we get a move down. I doubt it. I doubt it. Ugh. I mean, if that's the case, and I'll just start. Honestly, I might just start focusing on these. Start focusing on these Apex accounts after I get these Blue Sky accounts out the way. Mm. Mm. Why you said that, Alfred? You said next Wednesday? Is next Wednesday like CPI or something like that? Oh, okay, yeah. The tariffs. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think. So, huh? We'll see. Cause you know how that shit go. You buy the rumor and you sell the news. I mean, I think the market has already priced that shit in already. I think the market's priced that in already. I mean, Trump has been given these dates out, giving the people with the big money enough time to get in and out of positions that they want. If everybody's going to think that at April 2nd, I think the market is going to be bearish that day, or at least the sentiment will be bearish, but I think the market will be super bullish. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the market to be super bullish on next Wednesday. We'll see what happens though. That's my bias for right now, based on what the market has shown me in the past when it comes to these types of events. Tariffs have been definitely bearish though, and the market just does not like that word. As Trump has made that the most hated word in the dictionary at this point. He says that's his favorite word, and everybody else hates it. Every time they say it, every time he says tariff, the market just drops just a drop. And you know what, man? All right. Look, I mean, I'm in the sim, y'all. I'm in the sim. I just kind of want to see some green. That's it. I just want to see some green. Just want to see some green. This thing is just going up. Isn't that interesting? As soon as I get my target filled, my limit's going to get filled. Interesting. Uh, I mean, if that's all it takes is for me to get in long Nasdaq before you start moving to the downside, then maybe I'll start doing that in another account. Hedge against my position. Okay, so that's like 140, 200. We definitely got some. We definitely got resistance here. This would definitely be resistance right there. Oh shit, yeah, like 160. Okay, yeah, definitely. We'll probably see the resistance at 160 for sure. 160, 150, maybe whatever. 260 to about 290, somewhere in this range is another area where the market will probably come in, and we should see market participants take profits. Mm, interesting. The market has made a measured move. That's interesting, and that was a perfect measured move too. That was a really good measured move right there, almost to the bottom tick. Nice. Don't ever let nobody tell you that the Nasdaq ain't who she is. Don't ever let nobody tell you the Nasdaq ain't who she is. Isn't that interesting? As soon as I buy this thing starts dropping. That's so interesting. That's funny. That's funny. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But at least The Nasdaq is very consistent about how she's going to behave. Man, I kind of want to have an instrument to trade at night. What do we got? Like 4? We'll look at CL. See what she's doing, seeing if she, I guess maybe mm, you know what? Mm, I'm going to trade black gold, or am I going to trade gold? And this is how I start branching off into other hold on guys, give me a second. Yeah, what's up? Shit, you know we a millionaire in the sim, baby. You know we a millionaire in the sim. 525. CL 05-25. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know, man. Dude, if yo, just imagine crude oil being $5,000 a barrel. That would be absolutely crazy. Shit, $5,000 a barrel. Okay, so let's see. I mean, every time I look at CL, she just reminds me of why I just don't want to trade her anymore. This instrument had, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna always give CL her props. Always give her props. She was there for me when I couldn't trade Nasdaq. But when she starts to range, like, man, honestly, I'm just so used to Nasdaq now. Like I've completely am just used to how the Nasdaq moves. I mean, at this point, I just project her onto everybody. So I mean, if I'm just going to project the Nasdaq onto any instrument that I trade, I might as well just trade the Nasdaq. And I expect other instruments to trade like the Nasdaq, even though I know that they don't. Um, yeah, I mean, it really is challenging to trade instruments like this because you got to get in at the right spot. You got to know exactly where you at on the chart. You don't get freebies, meaning like you can't just get into a position and hope it works. Either it's going to work or it's not. I mean, that's just how simple this thing is. I mean, a lot of these technicals like value area, high and low, point of control, high of day, low of day, stuff like that is very important on technical instruments like CL and gold, ES, etc. But I like the freedom to not having. I like the freedom of not thinking of stuff like that. I don't have to think of stuff like that. The Nasdaq would just bounce, just a bounce. I mean, obviously, it's going to trade into an area of previous support and resistance, obviously, but you can get a couple of bounces along the way. Kind of like right here, randomly, like right here. I mean, you speak of the devil and the devil shows themselves. I mean, in this little move down, you get this random ass bounce right here. This random ass bounce. But I mean, it was, I mean, it is random. But I mean, technically, it traded back into this little area of resistance. Technically, it traded right back into it. And then we saw that move down. And you can kind of be on the wrong side of the NASDAQ and still make money. I think that's what we all enjoy about trading the NASDAQ. Is that you can be wrong and right at the same time versus instruments like CL. Like, dude, if you're not on the right side of CL, you're kind of fucked. You can't even hope that this thing comes back. You have to stop out. You have to. Because if you don't stop out, as an example, let's just say that you got in at this low and you did not stop out thinking that, oh man, this thing will come back. This thing did not come back. It did not come back at all. But at the same time, I mean, it was kind of obvious that this thing was going down. I mean, you got to move down, move into resistance, and then that's that third leg. Honestly, that's a two-legged pullback into support, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, this is your area of support. This is your two-legged, so this is your move up. And this is your two-legged pullback into support, and then we're seeing that move higher. So we could potentially see a move back into this range with CL, but it's highly likely that they'll buy it at the 200 EMA. It's highly likely they'll buy it, but CL is just too slow for me. I can't deal with this. GC, maybe it was a 05-25. Hey, Alfred, are you still trading gold? GC 05-25. It's not valid. GC 04-25. Oh wow, that's a short. That's a short. That's what I like to see right there. Being able to click on to the instrument and just seeing the short. But I will say that the one thing that I truly enjoy about trading gold, CL, ES is that you can really just have a defined stop. Anything, I mean, you know exactly where you need to stop out at. You see that sweep of liquidity right there? Actually, let me look at this real quick. I mean, technically, I guess we kind of are trending up higher. Technically. Technically. Oh, you can't? Oh yeah, because you would have to pay for the data, huh? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I just thought of that. Dude, speaking of that, I think if well, I don't want to speak that into existence, but yo, MFF kicked like dude, that I got kicked out the funded chat. I'm no longer blue on MFF no more. I'm not blue no more. I no longer have access to the funded chat. They literally just took me off of everything. I think I just got put on a list, guys. I think I got put on a list. What did they say? They said so I went on MFF and I guess I wanted to doom scroll in the funded chat, you know, just to pass some time. And then I looked at the Discord and I was like, hold on, where's the funded chat at? And then I asked one of the mods, and the mod says that yeah, moving forward, he lost access to the funded chat because you're a live trader now. Like, dude, if I knew this is how they treated their live traders over here at MFF, I wouldn't have done it. I would have stayed in the sim funded. He said being opinionated. Opinionated. No, I guess because I guess because I'm a live trader now, that was like, yeah, you lose access. I guess they don't want you I mean, I guess. I mean, from their point of view, I mean, you can get paid out every day. I guess they don't want you getting any ideas, any trade ideas. I guess. I guess. That's just the assumption because there's no reason why I'm no longer blue. There's really no reason why I'm not. Yeah, they said that congratulations, but unfortunately you will lose access to the funded chat moving forward. That's what they said. Okay. And they said I'll lose access to the funded chat. So I went long on NQ and went short on. No, no, no way. No way. Y'all see that? No way. No way. We got this shit on tape. We got it on tape. We got this shit on tape. No way. No way. So I bought the top apparently, and then I closed that out. And then as soon as I go long or as soon as I go short, the market bounces up. No way. No way. Really? Yeah, honestly, so if I'm allowed to get another sim funded account from MFF, I will not be going live. I will not. I mean, I will not do it. I will not, and I won't recommend it either because I mean it's completely because I mean other prop firms allow you to have a live account and still be able to trade in a sim funded account, but MFF is like, nope, we're not allowing you to do none of that shit. And then hopefully, I mean, I saw how they got the TradeOvate account set up, and I don't like that. Hopefully, hopefully I can still trade on NinjaTrader 8, because if they're forcing me to trade on TradeOvate, I don't even want to trade that account. He said, I was like I said, I was actually thinking about it because I've talked about this before, but maybe Gangway you wasn't here. But I recently came across this video of the top 10 Apex payouts, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of inspiring. That can be another milestone that I can reach. I mean, this dude got well over $1 million payouts, $1 million in payouts using one account. That could be another milestone that I can achieve. I think there's like 3 people that's had $1 million payout with payouts with Apex. And so I'm asking myself why that can't be me. I can do it. I can definitely do it. And I still got a PA account that I haven't activated yet. I'm gonna activate it because I think it renews on the 1st or 2nd or some shit like that. So I'll have it next week. I'll have the PA account next week, and I might just start trading in that one solely. Yeah, I had to activate it before the 2nd. So yeah, I'll have it activated over the weekend. Yeah, I'll do that. And we'll just keep using this strategy with the one contract. Um, we can easily make what, 15, $1,600 a day. Yeah, I think that's good. We're gonna try for 15, but I mean, if we make a little bit more than that, yo, no fucking way, yo, no way. Okay, like the Nasdaq is just doing shit. Why? Why did it bounce there? That is interesting. As soon as I go short, my break even is support, or when I go long, my break even support, and then I go short, and then all of a sudden it starts to drop. That is wow. But anyway, so I think I gotta stop saying I think. So moving forward in that account, my daily goal will be around $1,500, like at a minimum. I will do my best to adhere to that rule. I have no choice. They have a 30% consistency rule. So I have no choice. And then once I overcome the trailing drawdown, I have a static account with over $7,000, $10,000 in drawdown. Hey, yo, what's up, Tommy? What's up? Yeah, and this is the main reason why I will only trade moving forward sim accounts. Yeah, that is crazy. That is that my mind is still kind of low key blown right now. Low key, my mind is blown because it's yeah, that is crazy. My mind is blown. Yeah, wow. Isn't that crazy? Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Oh, look at the gold short now working again. That's crazy. Wow. 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 So Tommy, I think we go all the way up to 160. I think that's where the market's trying to go right now, to 160. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to trade. See, that is crazy. That is freaking crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Huh. That's crazy. That is crazy. Huh. So both of my gold short, huh? That's crazy. Mm, huh. Wow. Anyway, wow. Like mind you, I randomly got into this. My mind is blown. It really is. I randomly got into the short just for this thing to super reverse and run to my run to my stop. That is so interesting. Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I do think that we probably get to like so I'm gonna have a limit set here at dang $1,600, huh? I'm gonna have a limit set here. I think the market at least gets into this area. We potentially see a move down from this area. But I guess before I go, yeah, I mean we talked to like so I was talking to oh no way. No, you know what? No way. All right, so what is this a foreshadowing of what the Nasdaq is going to try to do tomorrow? Is this foreshadowing tomorrow? Mm. But anyway, me and Smith was talking about that, talking about this earlier, and I was like, "Yo, we literally we came into the market last night. We literally planned what would happen. We literally talked about today was going to be a big red day. We talked about this in the beginning of the stream, and sure enough, we got that big red day. We almost got that gap fill, but we all know that the Nasdaq never fills a gap on the first try. And as we was talking, it just kind of it just really emphasizes the importance of having a plan while coming into the market. It just really does because my mindset was already geared for the short. I'm just glad that I quote unquote listened to it, even though I didn't felt or even though I didn't feel, and I want to emphasize on that word, feel like the shorts would work today. And if I went against that feeling, or let me rephrase that, if I went against my plan with my feelings would have been super hurt because I probably would have lost an account today if I didn't read the charts correctly. And it just goes to show that your feelings have no place on these charts. And yeah, you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. As soon as I get out of it, now it's coming right back down. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Nice. You said I was a chat trading against me? Mm. Well, all right, guys. I think we kind of talked about everything. I've already shared where I think the market's trying to go. I do think that either we're going to see the market react somewhere in this area where we've seen that break of structure earlier or going into the close of yesterday's session, or we're going to come back up here where we saw that break of structure right here. Um, we do got GDP tomorrow. Don't know if the market necessarily cares about that. We will see a reaction, but I don't think no one cares about that. Um, the hot topic right now is tariffs. We do got PCE on Friday, so I think the market's going to care more about that than GDP. But I mean, obviously, GDP is going to we're going to see a reaction from it. I just don't think the market is going to quote unquote care. I mean, I don't recall the market really super pumping or super dumping with GDP. I don't recall it. Don't quote me and say that it hasn't, but I don't recall it. Mm, but PCE, we're definitely going to see a reaction. Obviously, the Fed uses that to gauge. The Fed feels that is a more accurate gauge of the consumer and the economy. So, depending on what we see there, we'll obviously see the. Make sure you're watching out the Fed Watch tool. I think the Fed after the FOMC Fed Watch tool. I think the expectations went up a little bit. We got our next meeting in 41 days. I think the expectations went up a little bit. Let me see. Actually, it went down. So majority of the market obviously feels that 86% of the market feels that the current rate is going to stay the same. Only 13%. It's 13% chance that we get a 25 basis cut, which I mean obviously that's below 50, which is basically them saying that yeah, don't hold your breath is highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Now, if it was at 50, maybe no. Yeah, 50. Because I mean, at 50, anything above 50 is highly likely. Anything below 50 is highly unlikely. We're not saying that it's not going to happen. Please, I'm trying to be clear with that, but it's highly unlikely that it won't happen. If we were to see a 25 basis cut on the next FOMC meeting, or if we have an emergency one where they cut, oh man, shit. We will probably see a 1,000 point pump. And then we'll probably see a super dump after that. We'll probably see a super dump after that. A super pump, a dump, and then probably like a omega run. People want to go back to the times where we had free negative interest rates, free money and negative interest rates. That's where the market wants. But obviously, let's hope that that never happens again, because that would obviously be devastating for the economy for something like that to happen again. I guess I will say this before we get off again. So I seen this other video talking about the possibility of that stimulus check from Doge. Um, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, obviously, because this is just a video. This is not something that I've seen that was stated officially by Doge, Elon Musk, or Trump. So obviously, you have to take this with a grain of salt. But I guess someone did the math and they was saying if Doge can save, I guess, a certain amount of money, those savings will be passed on to those that qualified for it as sort of a dividend. Like it's like the government is passing on the savings to us, the consumer, which will help pump the economy. If if this becomes a reality where the American people that qualify for this were to be able to receive a dividend from Doge, man, that would definitely be, I guess as they say it, golden. What a golden age, being paid a dividend by the government. And I think if that were to happen, I think we'll probably see less and less of the Trump and Elon derangement syndrome. And we'll probably was like, yeah, we love Trump now. We love Elon now, since they're getting quote unquote a dividend from the government. But we'll see. This video suggested that we could potentially see something like this in July. So again, grain of salt. This is not something that has been stated officially. It's just somebody on YouTube, a creator that shared their ideas, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we see something in July. We'll probably get an announcement from them if that's something that could possibly happen. I just know that if I qualify and I get it, I already know what I'm gonna spend that money on all these evals, baby. I mean, if when it comes to not my money, I'll probably put some of that in the market. Why not? I'll probably put like a personal account, throw like some of that in a personal account, trade futures, trade Nasdaq. But no, I can't do that. That don't even make no sense. I can just buy evals and have more buying power. I just can't justify a personal account, not just yet. I mean, unless I'm funding my personal account and I'm starting off at like 10,000, 50,000 of not my money. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. But then I would still have to justify why are you throwing $10,000 into an account when you could just trade your an eval. Yeah, it's just so hard justifying a personal account for me. It's just so hard, especially with these prop firms, especially getting paid out from them. Little to no risk to me, little small investment, and I can get my investment back plus some. I mean, it's that's kind of hard to beat versus risking my money in the market. So, mm. Yeah, yeah, mm. Yeah, Tommy. I think that's yeah. I just got done saying that. I'm just gonna invest it. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah, the smart ones will. They said that I mean, if they gave all the world's wealth, it'll just end up right back into the pockets of the 1%. And I was actually talking to my brother about this. I think what was it, Tuesday? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And I was like, you know what? You know that saying where it says that if you live long enough, you'll see yourself become the villain. And man, is that so true? It's so true. I mean, we grow up, we have our Saturday morning cartoons, and what are the heroes always doing? Just going out and saving the day by day by day by day by day. And they actually believe that what they're doing is going to cause change. And then, that hero finally wakes up. What was that, like Megamind or something like that? They showcased that too, where you just wake up and it's like, damn, it's like, man, it's like no matter what I do, people are going to stay stupid. Criminals are going to stay criminals. Politicians, the government, everybody's going to, they're just going to be themselves. Like people choose who they want to be, and you can't change that. You can't change people, especially if they choose. Like, I mean, if people are choosing to be a loser, you can't change them into winners. I mean, shit, they have to change again. I mean, if they want to, if they want to drift through life, I mean, you can't convince them not to drift. I mean, you just can't. And then over time, you just stop trying. You become a villain. It's like, well, fuck it. Well, shit. If you're just gonna be useless, I'm just gonna utilize you. And you begin to start to understand like why stuff is the way they are, because it's like, well, shit, you got quote, and then you hear terms like eater, because it's like all these people are doing is eating and consuming and drifting and not contributing to society and not utilizing all of their abilities that we all have. We all have the capabilities of being great, but only a few of us utilize that. But then what do you do with the other people that choose to just consume and emote and cry about things? What do you do with those people? I mean, well, you just gonna let them eat and consume, or are you gonna utilize them in some way? How do you utilize them? It's yeah. So I mean, yeah, you see yourself become the villain over time, because when you just open your eyes to stuff like that, it's like, yeah, okay, you really can't be mad. I mean, once you understand it, you can't be mad. But hmm, yeah, yeah, mm, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I had to. This is something that I had to acknowledge myself as I was coming up. I mean, I do not see myself as a victim, but I thought it was somebody else holding baby. No, I can't even say that because that's not even true. Um, eh, oh, that's not true. I really don't even know how to explain it. I will say this: how I grew up held me back. The environment that I came from held me back. It was mostly me. I got used to the environment of poverty and everything that comes with the mindsets that are instilled in people that live in poverty. And when you grow up in it, that kind of comes your way of life. You don't think of solutions. You just see how the world is unfair, and that's just the mindset that a lot of people have, is like, oh, this is unfair, that's unfair, or I'm not able to do this, or I'm not able to do that, and blah blah blah. And every time you think of a way to change your reality, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, I don't got money for that, or I don't have money for that, blah blah blah. And for a long time, I had that mindset. Obviously, it wasn't until I was able to change that mindset that I was able to move forward and dig myself out of that. I understand how hard it was because it was something that I had to consistently work at. I understand that. And people that have to work consistently, they have to overcome their own belief system to start building a new one. And then they finally get their way out of that. And then they finally climb that mountaintop and they start to overlook the land and they see where they used to be at. And it was like, damn, I really did a lot of work. And then you look to the side and see somebody with their hands out. To me, that's disgusting to me. I ain't gonna lie. It's disgusting. So why you got your hand out for? And then I can understand why people say that shit, I had to work. Well, shit, you have to work too. I'm not gonna just give it to you just because you ask. I get that too, because I feel that way sometimes too. But at the same time, uh, yeah. So kind of going back to what we were saying. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's so many. It's so many. How do I want to say it? Mixed emotions, mixed feelings. Only people that understand will understand it. The ones that don't will never get it because they just haven't opened that door. They haven't seen what's inside that room yet. So they don't understand what's inside of it. I mean, they don't understand it. The way that I see life now is totally different from how I saw it before. I see life from a business owner or someone that wants to contribute to society. Before, I saw the world is what can the world do for me? So it's like that mindset shift is totally different, totally different. And then I mean, I have to ask myself, well, shit. I mean, I know I'm cool and shit, but I mean, I'm not doing nothing that's contributing to society. I'm not helping anybody. I mean, I'm like right now, my existence is only for me. I'm not doing anything. How can I say that? You know, how can I say that I'm a quote unquote good person, but my actions will say that I'm selfish or unmotivated or whatever. Now I do this. Now I do this. This is me contributing, and this will grow into something else. I mean, this is going to be my life until I expire. So it's like there's no going back from this. This is what I'm gonna do. And then you realize once you get to a certain level that shit, the only reason why you keep going because there's no going back. There is literally no going back. You can't go back. You can't go back. Mm. Yeah, Tommy. So I grew up in South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina. You say I need a brownie? Why is that? Why is that game weird? Nah, I had an edible once. I will never do that shit again. I don't like losing control. I don't like that shit. But what I will say is that okay, I can see why. I will say that I can see why people feel that marijuana is mystical, magical, because whatever the fuck it's doing to you, that was the first time that I realized that I am not just a body. I felt trapped, like I felt trapped inside my body. Like that was like the craziest feeling in the world where it was like, wow. I mean, I feel like that right there was my first wake up call to kind of push me out of that old mindset, my old way of living, because even though I hated the whole experience, I learned some things about myself that I wanted to take with me without actually having to try edibles or any of that stuff. And I feel like I've taken a great bit of that with me. Uh, I couldn't even be angry. Like I made the joke. I was like, man, if I saw somebody fucking my girl right here, I wouldn't even care. I mean, obviously in the moment, yeah, like obviously. It's like it was like, man, it was freeing. It was I don't know, it was freeing. I think that's like the best way of saying it. It's kind of like you kind of wake up to who you actually are. I'm not trying to get all spiritual on this stream, but That was the start of my spiritual journey because I was living physically, 100% physically. And that's how I saw life, physically. I didn't know, or at the time, I wasn't aware that there was a mental realm and a spiritual realm because I was 100% physical, 100%. And if I did not have that experience, I don't know where I would be. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know because I probably would have been still trapped in my body. I don't know. That experience, like, I mean, it came at the right time to it, and that's just how I know that. I mean, you don't have to believe in a God, but if you kind of look at your life, a lot of your hardships and your good ships, they kind of came at the right time because you ever said to yourself, like, man, if this thing happened like 10 years ago or right now, it would completely destroy you. But the bad experiences that you had to go through, they came at the right time. Yeah, they came at the right time. And if I didn't have that experience right at that time, I just don't know where I would be. I just don't know who I would be, actually. I would not know who I would be. So, and I can understand why or how people can want to escape from the physical, experience themselves outside of their body through the use of um hallucinogens, behavior altering substances, and chemicals and stuff like that. I can understand why. Before I couldn't understand it. Now I understand why. But then I also know that, I mean, these things are supposed to be used as tools, not as recreational use and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but I just know that I had the experience, I've got what I needed from it, and I was able to move forward. Aliens, huh? Oh, really? You know what's crazy is because I was about to say I wonder if you can kind of tell from my accent where you're from, but then at the same time, I was also going to say that I don't have it as bad as everybody else. I still gotta keep it true. You know we gotta say acting, and you know we gotta say streets. Acts. But yeah, I grew up in South Carolina. So yeah, Gameway. So I mean, it's not a surprise that a lot of people from Georgia come onto this stream because it's like, well, shit. It's basically South Carolina and Georgia. The way that I grew up is basically the same state. Everybody would go to Georgia, Atlanta, obviously, and everybody from Georgia would come to South Carolina. It was like it was moving back and forth. I mean, we don't go to North Carolina; we just go to Georgia. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end it here. It's nice having a little walk through memory lane with you guys. Like I said, I think this is where the market wants to go. I am in the sim. We'll see what happens. I'll see what happens overnight. We do got GDP at 7:30 tomorrow. We do have job data coming out also at 7:30. I think we also have wholesale inventories, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got a lot of news coming out tomorrow. uh, You know what, Tommy? I will say that I'm in Texas, but I do prefer. I mean, if I can choose where I live, I would actually live in Florida. But unfortunately, Florida has too many damn hurricanes, and I ain't got time for all that. My favorite place, so I mean, I lived obviously up and down the East Coast, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Florida is by far my favorite state that I've lived in. Favorite state. Hate that I had to leave, but yeah. So we got GDP tomorrow, peak core PCE for Q4. Wholesale inventories at 7:30. We got pending home sales at 9, and yeah. So, but all right, guys. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll definitely look for more ways to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.